I am a content creator, a master body language strategist, and international leadership coach. It is my mission to help women entrepreneurs stop struggling in their business. In every episode, myself, along with a featured guest, will share leadership and mindset tools, tips, and resources that will magnetize a successful business on my globally recognized show, Business Kare with Kerstin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Business Kare with Kerstin. My name is Kerstin O'Shields, and I am a content creator, the CEO of the Business Leadership Excellence Institute, and I am your confidence queen for today. We are going to step into how you can show up with more energy in your business and really just show up in general to create greatness in what you're doing for your business to take it to the next level. I am so excited to bring on our guest today. She is a rock star when it comes to how you address your energy in your body and how you can feel amazing doing it. That's the most important part, because I find as women entrepreneurs, we're exceptional at drive. We get going, but we tend to burn ourselves out. And this is where you're going to gain some tools and incredible knowledge today from our guest, the ever lovely Claudine Francois. She is, honestly, she's a rock star extraordinaire. I love connecting with her. I always get the most amazing tips from everything that she does. She is a functional medicine practitioner and the owner of In Good Clean Taste. She's a content creator. Let me tell you a little bit more about her. She also has her own podcast, which is amazing, called Radiant Women Method. As the former CEO of a multinational company, she found that she was in a constant state of stress for a long time. She had these cascading health issues that left her feeling awful. And that started her on her journey of how she discovered how she could change what she was doing for her body, which changed how she was showing up for her life. So she has so many amazing tips that she's going to share. And seriously, a wealth of incredible knowledge of how you can feel better showing up at a higher level. So let's get down to really understanding what you need to do to bring up your energy for your body, for yourself, and for your business. So we're going to bring Claudine up from the green room and share this amazing lady with you. Here she is. Come on in, Claudine.
Hello.
How are you?
So great. Thank you so much for having me today. It's such a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your journey of what it was like for you to go through being at that high level, like high leadership female level, right? Mm-hmm. Which is what a lot of us strive for. You know, how do I create impact as women? We love to give value. We love to see that we're creating greatness for others, right? With what we can bring to the table in any industry. But that can really pull on our physical system, right? Which then greatly pulls on life. So tell us a little bit more about what that was like for you to go from that stressful place, creating all sorts of issues, to living this amazing life of feeling amazing.
That's the idea, right? Because,
exactly.
You know, like probably most of the women who are watching this, I was, A player, go-getter, like had to do all the things. I was always on my game, showing up, and I was in corporate. So in corporate, like you have to be doubly good to be taken seriously as a woman, right? And I was in accounting, like, hello, male-dominated field. They're like, what's this blonde California girl know about numbers?
So, quite a bit. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, So, talk about the pressure I put on myself and the external pressure. So, got to the point where it was such a stressful and toxic environment that I was getting brain fog. I was getting constant migraines. My kids were little and I never saw them. I was gone from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And when I was home, I was usually on the couch with a migraine. And I'm like, don't touch mommy. Don't come near me, Right. And so I missed out on a lot of things. And it just, as a mother, it just pains you to know that you
Right.
can't be there for your kids, even though you're trying so hard to make a good life for them. So after one of these migraine episodes on a Saturday, when I couldn't, it was the kind of migraine where you can't keep anything down, like not even water.
Oh,
And
that's
after
an awful way to feel.
yeah. And after the 11th time of getting up to run to the bathroom, I was like, this has got to stop. I can't live this way anymore. And, I'd already done all the whole doctor thing. And they're like, oh, take this pill. And I'm like, I can't keep it down. They're like, well, take this other pill. I'm like, I can't keep it down. They're like, well, put it in the other end. And I'm like,
this is getting worse by the second.
I'm like, how about we figure out why I'm having these problems? Right?
Right.
And so I eventually went to a functional medicine practitioner, figured out the root causes of things so that I could heal and get better. And it's a lot of it has to do with healing your body from the inside out, but a lot of it had to do with my mindset. I had to stop killing myself, right? I had to you used the word burnout earlier when you were doing the intro, and that's the perfect word because so many of us women are pushing ourselves to the point of exhaustion.
Yes.
And when we get there, especially if we're running our own businesses, we can't be creative. We certainly don't have the energy to do anything outside of what absolutely has to be done.
Right.
For me, I was snippy with my family. I didn't have the emotional, mental, or physical energy for any of it.
Well, and you're putting, and I've seen this happen over and over again because I'm a huge advocate and preacher of, yes, you can achieve in life as a female leader, but you have to achieve life balance and at life, right? Not just in the job, but outside of the job. And I love this business care practice you have of get your health figured out to have that energy and clarity and motivation to show up for your business, but it's also so you can show up for your life. It's so key to feeling, and I use this word a lot when I'm coaching, when I'm presenting, is it's great to achieve. It's better, and you're feeling like you're achieving greatness in your life when you feel fulfilled.
Absolutely.
Huge difference between the two. Achievement can be draining. Okay. Empowered and fulfilled is you get into that space of fulfilling, right? And your health is it's everything. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Everybody knows that.
And feeling empowered in your health, because so many women I know go to the doctor and the doctor's like, everything's normal. We ran these labs and everything's fine. And they're like, no, I have no energy. I have brain fog. I can't remember where I put my keys half the time. I don't even remember where I put my kids half the time. I don't,
right.
They're just feeling sluggish and just not themselves. They're like, I want to feel like me again. And the doctor's not going to be able to help them with that because they're really designed to step in when it's a disaster, right? They're designed to figure out when things are a medical emergency and then deal with it, not help you feel better before it's an emergency, right?
Right. Yes. Well, that's that fulfillment aspect too. I do agree with you. I think most Western medicine in general is geared towards fixing, not fulfilling your health.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I'm telling you, fulfillment's a big word for me. That's a lens I look at. If this does not fulfill me, it is not for me.
Yes, but I love the empowered part of it that you said, because empowering yourself in your health and not taking that answer and still figuring out how to help yourself feel better. Yes. Empowering, and that empowerment of, you know what, I deserve better. I deserve to feel amazing every day. That to me, that's where we can, between you and me, we're in this empowered fulfillment. We gotta get on there. Let's do it.
Right. Let's get that out to everybody else. What does that look like? Right? What does empowerment look and feel like? And how can it feel amazing in your health? Because it does. Most people don't know this. At one point, I was almost 300 pounds. Okay. I had to go on my own health journey of what am I doing in my life? And all those things you described. Yeah, I was exhausted. I had little babies. A lot of it was brought on from the pregnancy. Right. And all the hormone changes that happened in my body. And that was a hot mess. And all the effects it had on it. So I went on that journey too of, I need to address my health. And, losing over 100 pounds later, it's life-changing. But it wasn't about losing the pounds. It was about addressing the health.
Yes. Amen.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
You gave me chills.
That's what again, it's about fulfilling your life, not just trying to fix it. It's a really different approach that I preach like crazy. And I think this is something, and I'm going to say this over and over, and pretty much in every single episode that we have here, is energy is energy is energy, right? Where you choose to put your energy is where your life is going to grow and it's going to expand, right? So I think that idea of what kind of energy you're putting into your health, what kind of energy are you putting into your time? Time is your number one resource, not money. Okay, money is a byproduct of what you put your time into. Yeah. And I love that you have this. This is a real pillar moment that you're sharing with people of how you keep appointments for yourself. Completely transforms how you show up for your business and for your health. You have to keep appointments for yourself. So tell me a little bit about how that worked for you.
Well, I think a lot of us women who are so focused on doing things, we're often doing things for other people, right? Yes. We're like schlepping our kids around. We're making lunches for whoever. We're doing things for our boss or our business or our clients or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And we may say, oh, I want to go to yoga, but I don't have time. I want to do a meditation, but I don't have time. And so I had to physically, and this may sound silly to some people, but I physically put it in my calendar.
Yes.
And that did two things for me. One, if it's in my calendar, it happens, right? And two, it meant nobody else could book that slot in my calendar because that was already taken. So I couldn't say like, oops, I can't go to yoga because somebody booked an appointment with me. It's like, no, it was already blocked off. They don't even see that time slot.
Exactly. Yes. I'm a huge fan of online schedulers, and I actually use that to schedule myself too, all the time. And I think, your care tip, business care tip, is time block it and stick to it, right? That's one thing. Once it's on my calendar, I'm not allowed to cancel it unless it's with someone else who is in mutual agreement. Mm-hmm. Right. That also includes the people that I work out with. Right. Are we in mutual agreement for some, like last week I had to cancel because I had a cold, right? That's mutual agreement. That makes sense. But otherwise, if it's on my calendar and if the other person's like, no, I'm showing up to work out, I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta show up to work out too. Right. And you have those moments like, yeah, I gotta go. But then once you're there, like, okay, I'm really glad I did this.
Well, you're bringing up a really good point. And this is one thing I teach in my Radiant Woman program is that if you create an appointment with someone else, or if you sign up for a class where it's you have a commitment, like you can't get your money back if you cancel type of thing, like, right? Some of us need to be beholden to somebody else in order to make it happen. And if that's you, like, do it, right? Like I have a friend that I go walking with, and if there are some days I probably wouldn't want to go if it were just me, but I'm not going to leave her hanging, right?
Right.
Or like,
yes. Accountability. Okay, right there. That is a golden care. That's a golden nugget. My friends, if you're having a hard time getting yourself motivated, go ahead and give that job to someone else. Let them motivate you and create that accountability, because you'll feel bad. You're like, oh man, I gotta go because she's gonna be there. Yeah, the dog. I gotta go walk the dog as it's looking at you, going, please, can we please, I do. I assign those things. Like I have to be the one to walk the dog. I cannot schlep it off to my friends. I can't schlep it off to my kids, right? I have to be the one to do it because that gets me up and moving in the middle of the day, right? And I still go work out too. And it's all those little bits. They make a difference. They really pay off. And so I love that you encourage that kind of accountability in people. It does. It makes a huge difference in it actually happening.
It's true. So on your point of time blocking, to me, that is giving myself the gift of focus. Like, I don't know about you, but when I am pulled in all these different directions and I'm switching from this task to this task to this task, it drives me nuts. Like my brain is on overload and I get really tired that way. But if I tell myself for these 3 hours or 1 hour or whatever it is, for this amount of time, I'm focusing on this thing, this project, this business, because I have a couple businesses, like whatever it is, I focus on this thing. So that I don't have to feel that mental pull of getting distracted and refocus and, giving yourself that gift. It's huge. And it's another way to hold yourself accountable to getting something done is because you're blocking out that time.
Yes.
And then you're able to feel accomplished at the end of it. 'Cause you're like, I did that.
Yeah. And that releases that stress off your brain, right? Which
Exactly.
in turn releases the stress off your body.
Right. And you feel more fulfilled and you have more energy because you
Voila.
aren't getting all this distraction. Look at that bonus.
Yes, exactly. Well, okay. So I really want to wrap the bow around that word you said, gift. Right. I think shifting that mindset, this is something I have to do, right? It becomes heavy. This is another thing I have to do versus, okay, I'm going to gift myself this time to get this done off my list. And now that frees me up, right? You're doing, either way, you're doing it. Either way, it needs to happen. But how you look at it completely changes the kind of energy you bring to it.
Yes.
Energy is energy is energy. You choose what that looks like.
Oh, it's so true. And it's something I wish I'd learned a lot earlier, that the way I perceive a task really determines how I show up for that task, right? Because if you go into something thinking, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right? You're just like barely doing enough to get by. Whereas if you're like, I get to go to yoga. Like, amen. I get to go and get my tension all worked out. I get to get that yoga glow at the end, as opposed to I have to go work out, right?
Exactly. Yes. So that frame, I call it the lens. The lens that you look at things changes everything. Changes the energy you bring to it. So I love that you focus on all these things connected with women's health. I think that needs to be such a high priority in how we design our lives. And in the Plan Your Success workshops that I do, actually, I was teaching that today of, okay, what are the projects that we're going to organize and plan your success forward? And all the women in the group are like, I did it. I'm like, whoa, hold that phone. Okay. Number one is you. You are your number one project. Okay. So what are the things you need to set up to make sure you are ready to fulfill that success?
Yes.
Right? It's gotta be that you are your number one business tool. Okay.
Yes.
How you show up is the permission you give others of how they're going to do business with you. So it is, I love that you have this focus and a way to support women in this particular aspect, because we need that accountability. We need that empowerment, and we need those tools. So I want to share one of the tools that you give forward, which, by the way, I will be doing the nanosecond we get off of this, is you have a quiz, right? So tell us a little bit about this quiz, specifically for women. I'm in that category, 40s and 50s. This is actually, I'm going to date myself. I turned 50 this year. So I get to turn 50. I'm very excited. I'm all about it. I'm like, bring on the party and make it bling.
Yes.
And I want to create more fulfillment of excitement of moving into my 50s by feeling like I have a very connected understanding of where my health is at, specifically in my hormones, because this is the time in life where that kind of goes, it can take over and do a lot of wild things. So tell us a little bit about this quiz.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because basically what it is, once we hit 40, our body starts, it no longer compensates for how we're treating it, right? Like when you're in your 20s and 30s, you can have an all-nighter, you can eat junk, and your body's like, whatevs. And you hit 40 and all of a sudden you're like, why do I feel like crap?
What is going on?
Yes. Why is it I can't live on 4 nights of sleep or drink all night or, whatever it is. And a lot of times the state of life that we're in, we have a ton of stress, and that is having a huge impact on our bodies, specifically our hormones, because our hormones are one of the first things to go on the back burner when we are stressed, right? Because when your stress response is designed to save your life. Like you're running away from the tiger. You don't need to make babies, right? You're busy.
No, you keep running as fast as you can.
Right? Like you don't need to have metabolism. And this is what a lot of women notice. They're like, why did my metabolism just totally tank? Like what happened?
Right.
And a lot of it is our hormones, feeling sluggish, feeling brain fog, getting irritable. Like we know, right? Like we know what the symptoms are.
Yeah.
But there is an answer. So when someone takes the hormone health quiz, not only do I give them a number as to where they are on the spectrum, but they get a series of emails with videos and tips that they can use to actually help reset their hormones, right? And it's completely free.
Okay, we're going to put that link in the comments. So make sure you click on, again, I am clicking on that the nanosecond we get off of this interview because I want to know. And ladies, you need to know too. So get in there, click that interview because again, Claudine, I just love how much you bring to the world of women to help them feel their best, give their best, and show up in their greatness. So thank you for everything you do. It is always a pleasure to have you on the show and to connect with you and have you connect with Women's Leadership Coalition also.
Yeah.
So Claudine's going to be one of our speakers. So make sure you're looking on the newsletter of when she's going to be speaking and sharing. And it's going to be live. So you can ask her questions during that networking meeting. So make sure you show up for that. We'll also put the link for that in our show. Thank you so much, Claudine, for being here, my darling. Thank you for your greatness. We love you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing all your goodness with the world.
Oh, thank you, my darling. All right, we'll be seeing you soon. Take care, my dear. We'll take you back to the green room. So see how wonderful she is and all the amazing knowledge and tools and really the understanding of how you can go from that, I'm giving my best, but I just don't feel like I have the best available because I'm not feeling my best. She has those tools available for you. The best place to start is with that quiz. Go through, find out what's going in your body and get that information from her. And I'll also give her contact information. And I do want to give one more tip. I want to step into one of the things that she said about the time blocking. I think it's so important because your time is your number one resource. And again, this is part of what we go through in the Plan Your Success Forward workshops at the Business Leadership Success Academy and the BLEI, is we need to focus on making sure we have balance in our time. And I'm going to share one of the things I did with that. On my calendar, time blocking, just like I did with my clients, I would time block time with my kids. I made sure we had what we call girl dates, where I would have an hour girl date with each one of my kids every single week. That focus time was magic as a parent. And I'll tell you now, and I started that when my kids were 4 and 8. And now when they're teenagers and young adults, they still call me like, Mom, we haven't had a girl date for a while. When can we have a girl date? It really meant a lot to them to have that focused connection time. Now, I'm going to put one caveat on this, and I'm going to encourage you to do this. No technology was available during girl dates. Your focus needs to be with them, and their focus will be back with you. That's where you get fulfillment in your relationship with your children. So I'm going to recommend, this is one of the best, hands down, parent decisions I ever made, was to time block with your kids and be consistent about it. It means the world to them. And I'll tell you, as a lady boss, it really helped when I said, hey, mommy's got to go do business stuff, because they knew they had that time coming up with me. They knew they would get it on a consistent basis. They didn't bother me. They were more relaxed about the time I had to spend in business because they still knew they were getting time with me. So again, that's causing that grow and flow of making everything work and your life, both business and personal, feeling fulfilled. So we teach a lot of these things, different practices, how to fulfill your life with planning your success forward within the Business Leadership Success Academy. That's one of the divisions at the BLEI, the Business Leadership Excellence Institute. I will put the link to that in our comments so that way you can reach out and find out other aspects of what the offers are and other trainings we have available at the Institute. So again, this has been such a joy to share these different aspects with you, you women leaders, it's time to step into your health, into that deeper knowledge and fulfillment of how you're feeling great, so you can feel and fulfill your greatness in this world. I look forward to seeing you next time on Business Kare with Kerstin, here every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you can always find this on our social media platform, and also looking forward to connecting our speakers to the Women's Leadership Coalition. That's where you get to meet them live. So we'll see you in those two platforms. Take care and go show your greatness.
Me, my products and services at the Business Leadership Excellence Institute at www.bleinstitute.com. Make sure to join me for another episode every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on my globally recognized show, Business Kare with Kerstin. Business Kare